Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Steve Larsen, and welcome to Sales Funnel Radio.
Welcome to Sales Funnel Radio, where you'll learn marketing strategies to grow your online business using today's best internet sales funnels. And now, here's your host, Steve Larsen.
All right. So I'm making this real quick, actually. This is going to be a fast episode. So Russell is out of town, Russell Brunson. And so he asked me to run Funnel Friday for him. And if you guys haven't seen Funnel Fridays, just go to funnelfridays.com. It's the show that he and I have been putting together along with Jim Edwards and anyways, a few others. But we basically show people how you can build funnels in a matter of 30 minutes. We don't always finish them. In fact, most of the time we don't. The whole purpose, though, is just to show that you really can finish them quite quickly. So anyways. Oh man, so I gotta go put that together quick, and I'm a little bit nervous, I'll be honest with you. If you're on this podcast, you have the privilege of knowing that. I'm nervous. There's like 4,000 people watch that show live, and within 10 minutes, 500,000 people get it in their news feeds on Facebook. And anyways, so I'm a little bit nervous. Anyways, I build just as much as Russell, so it should be all right. But I'll just be honest with you right now. I'm a little bit nervous. So I'm here early. I always am, but here to figure out a plan. So how to make it cool. But I want to share something with you real quick. So it starts in 2 hours, and I'm just getting here to figure this stuff out. Right? 2 hours, and you might think, okay, Steve, look, why would you show up just 2 hours beforehand just to figure it out now? Like, shouldn't you be figuring out that, like a day or two ago when you found out? And here's the reason why. And okay, so I remember, like, back in college, there were these semester-long projects that teachers would give, right? And people would go walking around all the time, like, thinking, oh my gosh, like, I got to start this thing, and they'd start crazy early. And then the whole semester would go by, and they'd still be getting things done, right? And I would start like a week or two before the semester-long project was even due. And people would be like, you're insane, dude. That's suicide. Holy crap. And I would always get it done. And I would almost always get an A also. And people are like, what the heck, dude? Like, how did you figure that out? And there's a principle that I learned in the middle of college, and it like saved so much headache and stress. I had free time again. I could do things again. I kept funnel building for people in the middle of college because of this principle. All right? So here it is. The amount of time that you assign to a task is equal to the amount of anxiety you're going to feel in it, right? So that's one of the principles. So if you have like, let's say that something's coming up in like a couple months. Now, you can't do this for everything. Obviously, there are some things you just have to get done in a certain order. There is planning, there is preparation, but you can use this principle in a lot of different ways. And I've done it, I don't know, for the last several years, and it totally works. And it's the reason I'm here right now. So I actually do have to get off and actually prepare this thing soon. But here's the other part to it, though, is that your head and your subconscious like understands that something is coming up, and it will already have been working on it before you actually start going on the task, right? As long as you know it's coming up, you'll already start to get ideas, things will start to formulate, and you'll be like, wait a second, like, I'll tell you guys, it was actually this morning in the shower, right? It hit me. I was like, oh, I know what I'm going to do. And it hit me. And then I got to the office here quick, and I'm going to build it real fast, and all will be well. So there's, anyways, that's basically it. So the whole point, the whole principle here is that you have to think whatever task is coming up for you soon. Don't start on it on purpose. People call that procrastination. There's actually a good side to procrastination, and I've been doing it for years. So, like if I'm about to go on a trip, I don't start packing until I need to leave in, like an hour or two. There's no reason to. You'll be able to figure it out, and you'll always get it done, right? That's the funny thing about it, is that everyone says, oh, you're not going to be able to get it done. Oh, you're going to run out of time. Like, every once in a while following this principle, that has been true. But 90% of the time has been totally fine. And it saves me all the stress and anxiety so that I don't have to, think about it the whole way. Well, am I going to bring a toothbrush? Well, sure you are. So just put it in. Am I going to bring, it's the same thing with funnel building, though, is that most of the time when I follow this principle, as soon as, what's a good example of that? Okay, so this is one of the first funnels I ever built. If you look at fixedinsurance.com, FIXD insurance.com, so there's no E in fixed. That's one of the first funnels I ever built, and it was awesome, man. We had customers right off the bat. We were making money. It was great, and I remember I got ClickFunnels as a trial. I waited to get the ClickFunnels trial for just a little bit. I planned it all out, meaning like 2 days. Planned it all out, figured out what I was going to do and go build, and then I was like, okay, it's a 2-week trial. I'm going to be making money before my trial's up. Boom! And I hit the start button, and I built and built and built. It was ferocious, focus, and I stayed up late, for like a week and a half. I just crushed it out, pounded it out, and it was the first one I ever built, so I was a little bit slower at it, but I got it done. And we were making money by the time the trial was over. but it's because of that principle. I understood it at that point, and I was like, okay, you just make decisions quickly. Just make them really fast. I heard a stat on the radio yesterday, actually. It's funny I'm talking about this. The average adult, I can't remember which study, I can't remember what institute did the study, I can't remember the name of it, but take it for what it's worth. I'm sure you could Google and find it. But they're saying how a study was just done that adults make 35,000 decisions a day. Micro decisions, small things here and there. 35,000. And the kids, really, small kids like infants and toddlers and stuff like that, they'll still make 3,000 decisions a day. But the number of decisions that kids are making and need to make a day are increasing like crazy. Just think of how many times you look at your phone or your email or whatever it is, and it's the whole thing throughout the day. So, but it's the same thing with like building or your business or anything you're doing. You just have to go create quickly. All right, speed is your friend. That's one thing I've really learned a lot just watching Russell. I don't know if you guys know, like, that's who I work for. That's my day job. And then I build my own stuff in the evenings and mornings. It's the reason I'm here like 5 a.m. every day. So, but anyways, just watching him, the dude makes so many decisions so fast. It's insane. It's crazy how fast he makes decisions. He sits down and I'll watch his screen because I sit right behind him. And he just, he's all over the place. And it's like, it sounds chaotic, but it's actually not. He just follows wherever his thoughts are going at that moment. So I'm having a hard time talking. And we track it all in something called Trello. He and I use Trello together, and we have one board just for him and I. And we track all our stuff, what we got to do, all the things. Anyways, and we just make decisions quickly. And there was a guy that we brought in recently. I won't say his name in case he listens to this. But he's one of the guys who like gets hung up on details. He sits back and he's like, well, what are we going to do about this? And we'll say, hey, we're going to do X, Y, and Z. And he'll go, that'd be awesome, but man, this could happen with X. And be careful of Y. And look out for Z, And he'll be like, and we're like, yeah, we already know that. There's a risk. What we want to have happen is more than 50% of the time have a funnel work and, and have it make money and just break even. If we can do that, we'll make $1 million with the funnel. Let's just move on, And he gets hung up on the details and it's driving Russell and I nuts. It's driving me nuts more than him because I'm working with him a lot. But but just make decisions fast and understand that your brain is going to be able to handle it if you wait a little bit and on purpose. And what you'll find is that you have more free time in your life, but you'll still be able to get all the cool stuff done also that you wanted to. So anyways, I'm talking too much. That's basically the whole principle. Wait. That's basically how I got straight A's in school almost every semester. I waited on purpose. And guess what? I almost always got it done. Almost always got my assignments done. And the teachers knew I had good work. So the times I did have it, a little bit late, they were like, that's fine. It was like 5 minutes late. You're cool. And I played the game and I buttered them up and I did all the stuff that you're supposed to do in the game called school, right? And I'm doing the same thing with work. Give yourself short deadlines. Don't kill yourself. No one can have like crazy, ridiculous stamina all the time. Like everyone needs a break at some point. So take the break, but understand that you'll still be able to get the things done you need to, right? If you're willing to go through it, right? And when it gets too close or when it gets close and people are like, oh, I haven't even started it yet. I think I'm just going to fail. Like if you're not willing to go through, there are some little moments of anxiety or, hey, the first 20% that you push through might be a little bit muddy. You're trying to figure out how to get things done, but all of a sudden you'll have this moment of clarity. and all these ideas and the way they connect together and how you got to build it or put things together or whatever, if it's an assignment, will just come launching into your brain. And you'll know exactly what you got to do. And I do that every day now on purpose. So anyways, guys, that's all I got for you. If you have a question or you want me to review your sales funnel, I've been doing that quite a bit for people lately. Anyways, or if you want a free sales funnel, just go to salesfunnelbroker.com, and I got a whole lot of resources there for you. You can get a free t-shirt there if you ask a question and it gets on the show. All right, guys, we'll talk to you later. I got to go build Funnel Friday real quick. Bye.
Thanks for listening to Sales Funnel Radio. Please remember to subscribe and leave feedback. Have a question you want answered on the show? Get your free t-shirt when your question gets answered on the live Hey Steve show. Visit salesfunnelbroker.com now to submit your question.